Welcome to Wormhole Watch, the weekly show on my channel, Duke Devil 95, where we have been watching Star Trek Deep Space Nine from the beginning. This week we are on episode 2 of season 2, titled The Circle. Kira spends time with Vedic Baral on Bajor just as the Circle begins receiving arms from an unknown source, per the description from IMDb. This is actually the second episode of the opening 3-episode arc in season 2, featuring a lot of conflict and political intrigue on the planet Bajor. If you watched our show last week, you know that our resident Cardassian sympathizer had a lot to say about a lot of topics, and sometimes the train went off the tracks. Unfortunately, JHitman is not here tonight, so it's just myself, Adam the Renaissance Nerd, and Fractured Filter who will watch and review this episode. But don't just watch us watch the episode. Go watch it yourself. It's available on various streaming platforms as well as in physical media. And most importantly, always watch good Star Trek.
My God, they're going into the wormhole at full impulse.
And we are down a hitman tonight.
Yeah, he's going to be missing out. I mean, he took so many crazy, wild turns last week. We're gonna miss that.
We could be done in under 40 minutes. I mean, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
How long did that eat up last week? The circle.
The circle
issue
was 14 minutes.
He did not want to believe that it was Bajorans. He thought he was being set up. he didn't want to get his hopes up, I think.
I just didn't.
So he was really trying to he's even got me like, wait, isn't it really Bajorans behind this, or is this going to turn out to be something else entirely?
Well, don't forget, this episode is called The Circle. So literally, it would have answered his questions. All right, well,
let's go.
Unless anyone's had anything else to say, let's just start watching.
The famous ambassador from Minikoi used to bluster, exaggerate, and dissemble to get what he wanted. Not at all like you or me. He was a bag of hot air.
You know what? This is some of the understated part at this point with Ben Sisko, in my opinion. Like, he's delivering a good barb here. Really good barb. Also, what's sitting on the desk?
The baseball.
The baseball.
Yeah.
That's meaningful.
That is meaningful.
Well, and what I've noticed too is that he seems to do well with these one-on-one exchanges. Like, that's where Sisko really seems to shine and bounce off well with whoever he's kind of oppositioned against. So I'm already sucked in.
What's the problem?
Look.
Guys, what does this mean?
I think it's a circle.
Is it the circle? I can't tell. Is it a circle?
It's a little off. It's a little off from the previous ones we've seen. The circle on the bottom is vertical. Raised up. Yeah, and it's a little more raised up from the bottom. Right. It's not quite connected. It's more connected than what we saw happen to Quark. So the one that was used on Quark might be a much different group.
It may not be Bajorans at all. I mean, what proof is that there's Bajorans other than the fact that Minister Jarrow just said the circle made of Bajorans is attacking other Bajorans? I mean, do we have any evidence?
They're actually Cardassians in disguise of Bajorans.
But why would Cardassians be doing that? They're peace-loving people who only brought knowledge to the Bajorans.
Oh, that's right. With their summer camps and stuff like that.
Right. Remember, they were bringing them out of their thatch huts and dirt and water
and giving them job fairs.
That's right, job fairs. We got to make up for the lack of it somehow. I actually am going to miss Hitman tonight. I mean, I think he'd just be like,
he'd be all over.
There's a scene specifically where I'm just like, we're going to have to channel him. We're just going to have to stop and just like,
damn it. Okay.
Just going to have to do it.
You're not just leaving, Major. You're surrendering.
You break the rules, you pay.
Because it doesn't sound like the Kira Nerys who has made a career out of breaking the rules.
I'm confused. Why? What? I mean, I'm. It's very passionate speech he's going on here, but like, I'm feeling confused that he's like pushing her for disobeying rules. This isn't the Odo I know.
Yes, you do, Odo.
Oh, that's how he's expressing himself. I gotcha.
Although you did fairly well at it once I smoothed your rough edges.
I like Odo's taking credit.
Odo's this is you can also see that Rene Auberjonois is very comfortable being Odo now. Finding his character.
Very much.
Well, from this point on, Odo is more than just business from this point forward, because this is the first. This is the first time we've had Odo having a real personal interaction with somebody outside of the job.
Mm-hmm.
This first time, and now of course this is very meaningful right here.
Yeah,
going forward. So this is the beginning of Odo growing as a character, and also the sign that the show is starting to creep into what we've always been talking about for the past season. Let's focus on the characters in the midst of everything and get their stories going, and their stories will help drive the series to greatness.
I have a good deal more to say, thank you, Doctor. Look, I could come back.
Odo, leave her alone. This is Kira's decision to make.
Okay. Just got to point out that this is the difference, in my opinion, from Next Gen at this point, second season Next Gen, compared to what we have now on DS9 second season. These people are much more familiar with themselves, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
They have a much more familiar relationship. I don't know if it's because they're interacting with, not all Starfleet or whatever, but they definitely seem to have a more natural interaction than we would see second season on the Enterprise D.
Did you plan this?
Nobody could have planned this.
Oh, we're open for business. Come on in. Join the crowd.
I hope I'm not interrupted.
All right. So I just want to pause for a second because Boral's going to change the tone.
Damn it.
Like we were saying, this is actually comedy. This is a flat out comedic scene.
Oh, it's great.
And it works. It feels actually kind of natural. You feel like all the characters are like being themselves and expressing their own opinions, and at the same time talking over each other. It's one of the things that makes DS9 to me feel like a lived-in place, like it's real. More so sometimes than the Enterprise D at this point.
I just enjoyed the hilarity of it, like you said.
Okay.
Everybody's talking over each other, the tornado conversation, and Kira doing her best to answer everyone's questions, and the Doctor is confused as all hell.
Quark, it's a party. Oh.
Yeah, Quark comes in, he's singing party time. Let's go. He's got the ale. He just wish he had more.
No, he didn't think he needed more.
Well, that's true. He thought it was a party of two.
Do you have any immediate plans?
Hello there.
Everybody turning the
It's like, what?
Not wasting any time.
Nope. That Vedic moves fast.
I'm going to get you back, Major.
Docking Bay 3.
All right, hold on a second. I just got to let the puppy out of the room here.
No problemo.
Oh, he left completely.
Yeah, he did.
Damn it.
Oh, the wood huts.
Look at that. Look, here's a hut. Look, that's a hut.
There's a
dirty wall.
There's a shanty.
This is a shanty right here. Look at that shanty made of gold or bronze or something.
The communal bath in the center.
Look here's the Burj Khalifa made of sticks. So I mean,
well, this was all thanks to the Cardassians. They got all of this thanks to the Cardassians.
That's true. This is Cardassian architecture.
Absolutely.
She's at the job fair.
That's right.
She's moving rocks at the job fair. They still do it. That's great.
Oh, wonderful.
It's a learned skill. How you doing?
I don't know that.
Uh-oh.
Hey.
He's throwing his cards in here.
It's time, isn't it?
Uh-oh.
To put a bun in that oven.
It's time to pay the rent.
Jesus. She's in front of an orb. Do you remember the orb's fractured?
Very a little vaguely at the moment. Okay. Was that the thing that even Sisko went in front of and had the whole had his little vision quest and stuff?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you hear them now?
Oh God! Prepare to be lobotomized, bitch!
Remember, this is all a vision.
Look
at the lighting. I mean, come on.
Like they are making her look sinister as hell. Damn. And Hitman is missing gold. Hitman is missing. Oh God.
Look at the lighting on him.
I know. It's no better. Well,
I don't think she was finished.
Wait, let's hold on. Let's go. And that, of course, I paused right there.
It's the king of pause.
Whatever you're going to do, it's not fair. You're a deputy. It's not. What? You're a deputy. I want.
You're a deputy.
Interesting move there, Odo.
Mm-hmm.
I would. I mean, in some sense, Quark could have potentially betrayed the trust of some people that he was questioning to get this information to then tell Odo. So, this feels weird.
That's okay. It's a little weird.
A little.
Desperate times call for desperate measures.
That's true, but a little shyster, money mongering, a little weird, like Quark. Come on.
What a pleasure to come upon such a flowing
God
of spiritual harmony. After working so hard, you deserve a little recreation.
Ooh.
She threw a left hook in there.
Just like her voice is sing-songy.
A little bit. It's creepy.
Like, pa, 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 pa. Yeah.
That's the song of crazy.
Feel free to stay as many days as you like. Even a week if necessary.
Damn, she's slimy as hell.
It only gets worse.
Don't in this episode, you mean? Don't say anything else, because this is.
I bet she does get worse.
Assuming she shows up in other episodes. I mean,
assuming
we don't
so
know at this point. I just feel bad for Hitman. I mean, he's missing out on so much good stuff.
I know.
It's the devilish Bajorans and their red lights on their faces. Honestly, at this point, I would actually be a little confused. I can't remember exactly. It was 30 years ago. It's weird because even though I know where everything goes,
right?
Something about Boral seems creepy.
Well, and we said that before. Like he knows how to play the game, but he comes off sometimes disarming and sometimes like he's trying to be genuine, but you just still know there's something behind there. You don't trust the motherfucker because he plays it like too damn well.
He's too serene.
Yeah. There's something more going on, and he's also the more progressive type for the whole Bajorans. He wasn't doing the whole ear touching and all that sort of crap. He's trying to change the rules a bit, but how he goes about it, well, I guess that's gonna be determined.
Yeah, I mean, you don't know where he really lies right now.
No. You
know where Win is. You know where Win is.
Yeah, she's the very much staunch traditionalist, but like there's she just comes off as so outwardly slimy. Like you just really don't want to trust her. But that could be my own bias, knowing that she played Nurse Ratched. So I could be dealing with that on its own. But regardless, like the sing-songy voice and everything, just it comes off kind of condescending, while trying to play nice. So it's like you're getting all the different mindsets of where these are going, and I'm just like, I don't like any of you.
I think he's getting tired of seeing me smile.
I would
Who the hell would say that?
Never.
Who would say that?
I couldn't fathom.
Look, even Lee Nollis was like, I can't believe that guy's lying.
I don't buy that.
I don't buy that.
I've got some suspicions.
I
Like
hope it's not part. I hope you don't think it's Bajorans or the Circle, because there's no evidence of this.
I mean, we didn't see their faces this time.
We did not see their faces.
We didn't see any faces. They just, they
had the same robes. But that could be robes are us on Bajor.
Absolutely. I mean, they're just like ninjas. They just jumped out of nowhere and just, made off with Kira.
Yeah.
There's a part of me that's starting to think Vedic is in on the Circle business.
Burial?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hitman?
I think you'll find everything's in order.
That's why he's not here.
Oh my God, he's not here because he's dealing with.
He's in the episode.
He's in the episode.
So there's some Cardassian malarkey afoot.
I wonder where she's at. Any idea?
I don't know. The thing up in the
rectangle.
Yeah, it was too blurry. I can't see it.
Very blurry. Yeah, there's no evidence.
It's the Harry Potter lightning. That's what it is.
Oh, that's right. She's at Hogwarts.
Yes, absolutely. That's
so. Which house is she being kept in? Slytherin, Ravenclaw, probably Hufflepuff.
Good afternoon.
Oh shit! I was wrong.
What?
I said, "Oh shit! I was wrong."
Yeah.
Or am I? Or is the Vedic still potentially involved?
You're involved with the Circle.
I am the Circle.
Now
I am the Circle. I am the Circle.
No one despises the Cardassians more than I, Major. But we did learn a few things from them. Like how to encourage people to talk.
Job fairs.
Work study.
Work study. Long study halls. Occasionally detention.
Offering internships.
Internships. Yeah. Unpaid internships.
Wow. Hey,
the best kind.
Yeah, they're learning life skills. Come on, man.
Like busting up rocks.
Yeah.
Very important life skills. You know why they need those rocks? Because
they're building muscle.
They've all lived in thatch huts for so long. So now they can build homes out of rocks.
They're evolving.
God bless.
It's beautiful. Isn't it beautiful? It's beautiful.
I managed to find out where the Circle's headquarters is.
What?
Labyrinths beneath the...
How did he manage to figure that out?
He talks to people that don't talk to Odo.
That's true. He made that point earlier.
And that's why he became a deputy.
No, that's...
What the fuck? Kira!
Those Bajoran security officers don't know the meaning of cover.
No, they didn't. They did
I'm
not.
gonna stand up so you can get a clear shot of me.
I'm here.
Just because I'm wearing a red shirt doesn't mean you can't shoot me.
The Circle's being supplied by the Cardassians.
The Circle hates the Cardassians.
Gull JHitman 187.
Oh no!
Exactly what you're right. He's not here, but now we have evidence of where he's at.
He's applying the Circle for the
never trust a spoonhead.
I'm gonna get the feeling that this is gonna be one of many instances where we're gonna find Cardassians are behind some shenanigans.
I don't know why you would get that idea.
I'd get that idea from Adam always saying never trust a spoonhead.
Listen, it's very simple. They had all these work study programs at the job fairs, and they're just checking to see how their trained interns are doing.
They're just using Jaro. Once the Federation is forced to leave,
The Cardassians come back. I've got to do something.
You want to stop job fairs?
I know.
Lee Nallis is against education.
I can't. I just can't with this guy. I mean,
wow.
Stolen valor, all the whole 9 yards. He's a
dismantling
fake.
the Department of Education. I mean, good lord.
Are you surprised?
Of
really
course.
Surprised?
Of course. I was completely wrong. I was blaming the wrong motherfucker. I should have known. I should have known.
Wait, hold on. Let's just look at her face. Get it? Look
Oh
at her
yeah,
face.
she looks smug as hell.
Yep.
I should have known. Ah.
I can think of no one more worthy of being the next guy than you, Win.
Anyone else get like? I suddenly got like a Star Wars vibe with like looking out on the clone troops being deployed, almost. Yeah, at the end of.
I kind of I get what you're saying. Yeah, Attack of the Clones. Yeah. Especially the sunset and stuff like that. Yeah.
There's no other choice but to evacuate.
I mean, a complete evacuation.
A week for all I know.
But I guess some of us won't quite be done by the time they get here.
So let's get talking about the episode.
Well, what can I say?
Well, as always, let's start with the fracture filter.
Now you gotta have.
Wait,
to.
hold on. Let me ask Hitman. Hitman, would you like to go first? No. Okay.
No.
Right.
Okay.
I wonder who fracture has to say
first. We definitely missed out of Hitman's antics tonight. It was a shame he could not join us for the fun, because he probably would have had quite many things to say, and this probably would have lasted 2 hours instead of well, like I said, I still don't trust Bareil. I have my suspicions of the guy regardless, but I will admit I was swerved. I didn't expect Jaro and Win to be in cahoots. For some reason, that just didn't occur to me that those two would be in cahoots for this whole circle business. But I guess it should have. Once it's revealed, it's like, oh, okay, I get it. But still, I got a little swerve there, so that's a good thing. I'm not. That can't always predict everything or catch everything or whatever. But it's fun trying to guess. Otherwise, oh god, what can I say? Leonalis just seems to be absolutely out of his element, and that's really but that's really showing that how much truth he was telling to Sisko, that he was just thrusted into this whole limelight of a war hero. So that was good. I mean, but can't go wrong. To help. No, he wants to help, and that's the good. That's showing. And I mean, the beginning was just comedy gold. That was they played that out so well, and like you said earlier, it did all feel very natural between all of them. Like they have really bonded to some degree, that they all just played off of each other very well. And
but then don't you think the episode does a complete shift? So we have this light scene.
It does, but it doesn't feel so jarring.
Okay.
Like like to me at least, it felt like it all kind of melded into each other, because it's still also carrying over from the last episode of the way everything was leaving off, and now just kind of getting that escalation going, especially with the circle and as they're ramping everything up. Because that's what I said last episode, because Hitman was very confused about them attacking Quark. I'm like, well, that's escalation. They're gonna naturally start making more and more hits on people. So, and then we hear about it, but we just don't see it that much. That's kind of a little unfortunate, maybe, but that could also just be the limitation of the times. They can only get away with showing so much with budgets and stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, you can't show like
you can't show everything.
Yeah.
No.
Let me ask you this though. So Adam and I always talk about how like this show focuses on character. Do you think this episode was particularly strong in focusing on any person's character?
Well, this definitely felt more towards Kira, and like it was her trying to just be kind of finding an inner peace in this, maybe just kind of also then like other ways of looking at maybe solutions to her problems. That might have been where the whole orb came in, but that was definitely like the focus there was for Kira and all of that. So that's what I got on that end. Otherwise, I mean, that's all I could really say for the focus, at least.
Major Adam.
Well, overall, this is this is definition of a setup episode.
Right.
Because things happen, but nothing really happens. Pieces are moved around the board, this and that. To answer your major question, though, about the characterization, this is the one thought that was jumping through my head the entire time. Maybe it's because I am thinking ahead like I always am, but everybody else seems alive. Seems, in fact, exploding off the screen almost. Like we said at the beginning, the comedy moment. Everybody's really digging their characters at this point.
They have their personalities.
Yeah.
Sisko is nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, Avery Brooks still hasn't figured out what he wants from Sisko, because Sisko is way too calm about everything. That's not that ain't boilerplate. That ain't tip of the spear.
I felt like we got kind of like a hint with the one-on-one between him and Jaro a little bit in the beginning. Like
that was jousting. That was verbal jousting, which was good.
Okay.
It's good, but this is Foresight speaking. This is still not Benjamin Sisko. This is still not the Sisko. This is a guy who he's not playing it safe. He's not taking it easy, but the fire isn't there yet.
Okay.
And that's going to be a part of a drag down for most of the season. Avery Brooks is the only one who hasn't quite figured out what he wants Sisko to be as a character in his delivery. He hasn't quite figured it out yet.
And the interesting thing is, don't forget, he's first billing.
Yes.
I mean, he's Captain Picard on this show. Now, in my opinion, I don't think we really ever truly got to see Picard's personality in the first couple seasons, other than being just a stern commander. But my impression from TNG was like, you could tell he's in charge. Sisko, to me, even in this episode, is kind of taking a backseat role. It's like he's driving literally the car from the back seat. He's not sitting in the front seat. He's doing stuff, but he's just kind of there, as opposed to really being commanding.
Yeah. He's not asserting himself. And I mean, his conversation with the Admiral, it was very by the book. He just said, okay.
Well, and something that I just thought about too is that it feels like they kind of dropped the whole thing with, it seemed like a almost more direct kind of attack, not a threat towards Sisko when the circle symbol appeared on the door to their home. So I'm surprised we didn't quite get some follow up to that. Maybe that'll come next episode, but or even something happening to his son, because I know his son was,
which is also interesting, because if you think about it, before when the whole thing started, it's like, all these, someone's just spray painting this throughout the station, and the next thing, remember, then the circle brands Quark,
right?
And now they're hearing about more and more political unrest. And it's like Ben's like, it's just don't worry about it, Jake, it's fine. At least that was like kind of a blow off. I'm like,
real blow. Yeah.
It was, there's something about it that's kind of disjointed. And like
Adam
was saying, this is a setup episode. This is completely a setup episode. And I think from a character perspective, I agree. Kara gets majority of the character. And when you're talking about, and I'm talking about like, Siskom's so placid, both of you guys, like, he's just very even keeled. When he goes and meets Kira in the Arboretum, what is it, the Arboretum or the garden or whatever the heck it is. Kira's are like, Commander.
Yeah, it's like she's like she's in a trance-like state almost. Like what?
But she also sounded to me but she sounded kind of like Sisko.
Oh,
just sort of like,
I see that.
I'm here. I'm listening, because that's to me is what Ben Sisko is coming off right now. And like Adam says, it's going to be a very different Ben Sisko in the future. But in this episode, it's just like he's kind of there. And I don't think that if Picard was, I think Picard would be much more assertive in this type of scenario. He definitely does not seem as assertive in this episode. And there's a direct threat. At the end, you get the hint that it's like, oh, we got to do something now. We're not going to be ready to leave. So maybe there's a hint of something, but otherwise he's just kind of there, which is really, really odd.
Could some of it be kind of perceived though through their different settings? Because again, like we made the point earlier, the station is filled with so many different groups, and Sisko has to kind of play politician with everyone and make nice as he can. So being too assertive with some groups will rub them the wrong way. So I can kind of see where he's trying to like feel things out, but like it's not getting him anywhere, unfortunately, too. At the same time, while with Picard, he's on that ship. He is that direct chain of command. He is the top dog. So, and maybe it's just that at this point in the story, Sisko doesn't feel comfortable with that. But he is the commander of the station, and don't forget, his mission is to keep Bajor on the path to Federation membership. Right,
and literally his mission is now being endangered.
Well, that's why he might not be trying to stand too much in between with the Bajorans and the Federation too. Like he's not trying to like in that assertiveness like take Kira back. He's trying to find a
happy
amicable, happy medium to still get her back and then make everybody else happy at the same time.
But yeah, I agree with you, Adam. I think that this is not the Ben Sisko we know.
No, it is not. It is not.
Everyone else is great. But this is not.
Oh, yeah.
Sisko. And so does anyone else have anything else to say about this episode? I mean, anything stick out? I mean, Hitman not being here, we're missing some of the good Bajoran cracks. But
well, just kind of like this, I end up asking the question. So, is it just for the fact that the writers aren't figuring out what to do with Sisko, or are you guys saying the actor himself isn't figuring out what to do with Sisko? Like, because I know you guys say he comes into his own, but not until what, season 3, or the midway through this season. Let
me ask you this: you know how Ben Sisko looks right now, right?
Yeah.
Have you seen any other pictures of Avery Brooks as Ben Sisko?
Yes. Yeah, bald goatee.
That was what he wanted.
Oh, from the start, he wanted that. He wanted that from the start. I think you know what? I feel like I've asked this already, so we're kind of retreading some ground here.
That at some point, I think Avery Brooks got to the point where it's like, I want to put a little bit more of who I think Ben Sisko is. And that's why I say it's a man called Sisko, similar to a man called Hawk. He ends up looking like Hawk from Spencer for Hire.
Yep. That is the literal change. Because it's a little bit of both, Fracture. The writers are, of course, we know they're still figuring out what are we going to do with Sisko. We've got the whole emissary thing. He's a Starfleet officer. They're still putting that together. But at the same time, because they're doing that, they've got literal handcuffs on Avery Brooks. He can't really do anything with the character because they're not hearing his input yet. At the end of the season, they're going to start listening to his input. And when they allow him to actually do something with the character, have a little power of control of, okay, here's how
you're going to see a shift in personality.
Yeah. There's a reason I keep using the term boilerplate. This man is a pot ready to explode, and he is the tip of the spear.
And you will see that the actor becomes more comfortable with his character.
Oh yeah,
because I think then he knows. I think that's at that point that Avery Brooks understands the character and he relates to him more. And it's like, now I feel natural with this character. Because at this point, I don't feel like Ben Sisko's really commanding in this episode, especially. Just kind of he's there pushing the plot along.
No, and I see your point behind that. That's
he's only got one hand on the wheel.
Yeah. Well, there'll be a point where he gets a little tough little ship that lets him have two hands.
Little.
I saw your show this weekend.
Great shoulder pads are awesome.
Yeah. Okay. So, does anyone want to go over to the Dabo table and throw some Latinum on it for this episode?
Dandy.
Okay. Fractured. How many bars of Latinum are you going to put on the table for this episode?
You know what? With this one, I'm going with a 6. I feel like it kind of, yeah. I think we discussed it, so.
Yeah. You had a 7 last time, right? For the last episode, I think.
Yep. I'm feeling a little taken back this time.
Yeah. Adam, how many bars you got on the table?
I'm with Fractured. It's a 6. I gave it 7 last week, but we get a step back because setup episodes are usually not as good as what they pay off.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is going to be a clean sweep, guys, because I'm also going 6 bars also.
Let's go.
Bravo!
and like we said, Adam, you said it perfectly. That you said this is a setup episode. It doesn't have the great direction that the other one. It's like it's necessary to get to the next one to be continued.
Yeah. Yep. And like you said, the Attack of the Clones ending.
There's
the very evil, yeah, very sinister lighting and everything to the characters, and it was in the vision. So,
but guys, let's also remember this episode's like 32 years old.
It still was enjoyable all the same. But
no,
yeah,
it's an look. We all gave it 6s. This is not like we're this is not Move Along Home. No one's dropping 2s on the table.
Yeah.
But especially like I think we all agree after last episode, this is just a little taken
a
down.
Little dip.
So
just a little dip.
So yeah, that's it for this episode. And the next episode, oh my god, I forgot the name of the next episode. Holy crap. I knew this one was a circle because we argued about it for 20 minutes last week. Jesus Christ. What would have happened if he was here this week? Holy
I meant to tell him, it's like, you wouldn't have made that clip of the whole circle talk and everything if you guys were wrong.
So next week's episode is called The Siege.
Oh.
Gee, I wonder what's going to happen.
I wonder what's going to happen. Well, if I recall correctly, that's a Denzel Washington movie in the late 90s. So another uncredited appearance from major star Denzel Washington shows up. Monk, because Monk is in it also. But yeah, so that's 6 all around on the Dabo board from all of us here. Otherwise, we will be back next week for the conclusion of the opening arc, 3-episode arc of season 2, Deep Space Nine. As we always say, questions, comments, witticisms down below. Click all the good buttons and go watch good Star Trek. See you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.